Whenever you hear the word Bosnia, the first image that'll most likely come to mind is this one. This is the Stari Mos Bridge of Mostar, Bosnia and Herzegovina. This magnificent bridge was constructed in 1566 during the Ottoman Empire, and then unfortunately it was destroyed during the Bosnian War in 1993. However, it was reconstructed in 2004. But one of the more interesting things about this bridge is that you can jump off into the river below with a staggering 23-meter drop to the depths below. You could actually be one of the very few people that has successfully done it. And I am not going to be one of them. Tricked you, Mom and Dad. Despite the fact that I really want to do this, I've decided against it because there have been some fatalities, unfortunately. A lot of injuries, some people paralyzed. It is just a very dangerous thing to do. After discussing it with Erica, I've come to realize that it's a selfish thing to do, being married, because we now share a life together and I could end the trip early. I could just end my life and just leave Erica behind. And so I'd rather not do that and just continue on this adventure. However, you can still do it. They have ways to do it semi-safely. There is a diver's office area right next to the bridge where you can pay to do it. I think I've read anywhere between 30 to 50 euros. They'll take you through a training course where you can, they'll teach you how to jump off it properly, determine if you're good enough to. And then they have a couple other test areas where you can jump off at like 10 meters, 13 meters, stuff like that, over here to the side. However, since I'm not doing it, we're just going to admire it from afar and then move on to maybe have some coffee, explore some Old Town. So we're sitting here trying to survive the heat in the shade, watching them jump. And some people say they waited at least about an hour in order to watch them jump. However, we've already seen two and it's been less than that. And we were watching some other guy train as well, and he's about to do it. I'm just jealous. I really want to do it. I'm going to walk away with so much regret.
I appreciate you not doing it.
I know.
You never know what will happen.
I know. Oh, I should get my drone out. Someone else is.
So, we were planning to start this morning with some Bosnian coffee, some sweets. I found this place mostly because they have the dessert that I want to get, and it is adorable. We came onto this little balcony. We're right by the river. I'm excited. Bosnian coffee tasting round 2. I opted this time, instead of nibbling on the sugar, just to put the sugar and let it dissolve. I'm still very scared I'm going to burn my mouth after last time. It's a different taste, actually, doing it like that. The coffee itself is sweeter because it has the whole sugar cube in it. But I personally feel like the taste of the coffee comes through a little bit more than the sugar cube than we did last time, if that makes sense. I like this one better.
You can do both though. You can put the sugar inside or do the dip. And I'm gonna do both, because sweets. I like the taste of this one better. Agreed. Agreed.
Aaron clearly wants diabetes. Okay, what I think is going to be the real star of today's food will be tonight. But one thing that I did want to try was one of their desserts. It's hermasi. I'm probably butchering that as always. But it's essentially like a little pastry. I read that it has like a cookie dough consistency. Yeah, looks like it probably does. And then it is coated with either like a honey or sugar syrup. It's a pretty sweet, supposed to be light. Mm. It's very simple, to be honest, but it's quite good. And this one, I don't know if all of them do, but this one does have like a little bit of like a orangey lemon flavor, which is really nice. It'll pair well with my coffee. One of the not missed sights here in Mostar, we actually stumbled on by coming to this restaurant, but it is behind me. It is the Crooked Bridge. It was essentially built as a way to test the architecture and stability before building the old bridge. This one was built in 1558, so close to 10 years before. It was also destroyed and had to be rebuilt, but it was due to a flood, not due to the Bosnian War. There is a few people coming and going, but it is far less popular than the old bridge. So highly recommended. Come take a gander, walk across it, get better pictures. On to more of the old town.
Is the mini Starry Moss Bridge.
The Crooked Bridge.
Yeah,
I don't
know.
really know why it's called crooked.
I just call it the mini Starry Moss Bridge.
Oh, never mind. It's crooked. Do you want to jump off of that one into the 2-inch deep water?
Yeah, I think I could do that one. I'll come out unscathed.
Bravo! Bravo!
Started from below, now going to the top. Me even thinking about jumping off of this thing is a hard no. The ground is all like this marble, so it's very slippery. They have these little slide-proof thingies, but I've still slipped a couple times, so be careful, especially if it's raining. So we've been wandering a bit through the old town slash the bazaar. Not really sure if they're two different areas or if they're kind of the same blending. But regardless, as you can see, there are so many people. Mostar is a very popular place for day trips from Dubrovnik, from Sarajevo. So during the day, especially like during the train hours, there's so many more people here, and it's extremely hot today. So we're going to explore the area a little bit today, and then we're going to come back tonight when there's about 2,000 less people. Whenever you're walking through the old town, you'll without a doubt see the mosque that's there in the background. Relatively small mosque. It is called, it has several names. Koski Mehmed Pasha Mosque. You can actually climb to the top of the minaret. It's a one-way staircase from what I read. But unfortunately, we happened to come today when they're in prayer time, so we can't actually go into the mosque. But it's still really nice, right in the center of Old Town. Has a lot of the Turkish vibes kind of around the mosque, more so than other parts of Old Town have so far. But I think that's about it for Old Town during the day. We're a little tired of the crowds, and like we mentioned, it is super hot. So we're gonna slowly make our way back, relax a little bit, and there's actually a couple places on the way that are really interesting. Thank you. We do have some music playing right beside us, so hopefully you can hear what I'm saying. But what we got for lunch today was kind of some classic dishes. We have this here. We got a mixed plate. So this has the japrek, which is the vine leaves with rice. And then we got the dolma, which are the stuffed peppers, served with sour cream and some potatoes. I've been really excited about both of these, and we haven't tried them yet here. We, of course, got a salad with it as well, because salads are always good, fresh, and cheap. So let's dig in. Start with this here. Those are just mashed potatoes, but I've not had mashed potatoes in a long time. First, I was trying the japrek. It is really good. I always like things with sour cream. If you've seen any of our other videos, you know that. But it cools it down a little, but the taste of by itself is really delicious. I'm very, very happy with those. And now I'm gonna try the dolma, the stuffed peppers. Similar taste to the other one. Part of it, I think, is this kind of broth that it's in, but the pepper part of it gives it like a nice, refreshing boost. Overall, I think it's a pretty good lunch. Plus, of course, the salad. Would you like to try?
That's kind of the downside of being the primary filmer is I don't really get to dive into the food until much later, after Erica's already tried it. Unless it's dessert, then I fight my way to the front of the line. Erica's right. A lot of the taste is coming from the broth. It's not popping with a whole lot of flavor. I'd give it a solid 8 out of 10.
I thought it had a whole lot of flavor.
Yeah, but like, I'm used to like more salt maybe. With stuffed pepper. I like the texture of the pepper with the meat. It looks like it's got some fresh garlic and stuff in there. They are on point with their sour cream here. Great lunch. Good pick.
Good start.
Good start to Mostar.
One of the things that you can actually do here in Mostar that normally we would be doing is to climb this mountain behind us. This is Mount Hum. It's supposed to have beautiful views of the city. You can see the bridge. However, there is heat advisories this entire week, and we just don't want to be outside for that long. So we're going to forego it this day and do some chillaxing instead. One of the more kind of historical parts here of Mostar, one of the more historical parts here of Mostar lies just a little bit outside of the midtown or the old town, but it is back right here. It's the Sniper Tower. It actually used to be an old bank, and back during the time of the Bosnian War, because it was so tall, it ended up being kind of a lookout and a defense area. And so there is a lot of buildings around here that you can tell have a lot of damage due to things that happened during the Bosnian War. So more of a historical tidbit. The yellow building here is actually currently a gymnasium, but it was built to resemble the City Hall building that we previously saw in Sarajevo. So unfortunately we can't go inside, but we definitely get where some of the vibes come from. And one thing that's really interesting, really just about Mostar in general, is how much of the city is like built up right next to ruins. I've gone on about this before, like in Bucharest, but I think that Mostar is really the place that we've seen it the most. We just walk down a street essentially, and you have these newly renovated buildings right next to abandoned old ones.
So it seems like we're wimping out because of the heat, but we're really not, because the real feel is like 117 degrees Fahrenheit. And that's insane. So we're gonna try and cool down back at the apartment or back at the Airbnb for a little bit.
And this is Aaron's back.
This is my bag right here.
Okay. Yes, okay.
Come on.
Story time. Real quick. When I was little, I had a sleepover with my cousin. My sister had these American looking dolls just like that. Freaky little things. And she told us that on the like high banisters in the living room, that sometimes at night they would go up high and watch us sleep at night. And it scared the crap out of us. And now I just hate them little American dolls. Hate them. They're freaky looking. Childhood trauma. But let's get some food.
I have been so excited for this meal. So tonight we got dolma. It's the stuffed peppers that is baked with a cream, like another sour cream. Looks delicious. But what I'm most excited for is the sogan dolma, which is the same kind of stuffing that you have in the pepper, except it's in the onion. This is more of a specialty here in Mostar. You can find it in Sarajevo, but I really wanted to save it here for Mostar. And this is supposedly one of the best places you can get it. It's at this restaurant. So let's dig in. It's really good with the onion. The filling is very nice as well. I really like it with the onion. I don't know if this one's gonna... The filling is the same in both of them. The cream on this one really does take it up to another level. But the oniony taste is nice also. I can't decide which one I like better. Overall success though. I'm very happy with this dish. This one does have meat in it. But I guess I'll let Aaron taste and see what he thinks is best.
I like the onion better. It has a lot more flavor. Packs a punch. And it doesn't have the sour cream to overpower it. So I'm gonna go onion, 100%, all the way. But I am looking forward mostly to the dessert.
So they had our apple dessert again tonight, the tufahia. And naturally, I needed another one. This one has a little bit more whipped cream than the last one, but the apple itself is a little less sweet. It's just so good. It's light, refreshing, perfect ending to a meal. I'll decide if Aaron gets any. Hey, we just finished up with dinner, and we're kind of going through the old town a little bit more since it's not 110 degrees outside. But like I mentioned, there is a lot of people that do come for day trips. A lot of people have left that came for the day trips. So there is a fair amount of people less. That being said, there's still a lot of people. Maybe as the sun sets even more will disappear, but I can't blame them. We're here in high season. We're also here. But at least it's tolerable to walk around. But what we have in store next, I'm excited for. We'll talk about it when we get there.
We're the only ones here. It might be a little early, but we got a couple beers. I've got the Black Devil. It's a Russian stout, 9% volume alcohol or something.
You don't have to brag about your alcohol.
I'm not bragging. I'm a little scared because I'm a lightweight.
But what we were excited about was coming to this brewery. It's a craft brewery. They have a lot of beers from Bosnia and from the region. And we are from where we have lived the last 6 years is like a huge brewery place. So this is something we would do.
Yeah.
So we just came halfway around the world to do it again. Cheers.
Reminds me of home.
That's very nice. I like it.
Ooh, now that's what I call
It kind of
beer.
reminds me of my Elephants on Parade.
This reminds me of, I love stouts. Now that's a beer.
No,
Okay? You're gonna hate mine. I wouldn't even try it.
I'm not going to try it.
Oh yeah, this is basically candy or fruit.
It's delicious.
Ooh.
We made it back here to the old bridge during the night. It's actually even more beautiful, I think, at night than it was during the day.
Definitely worth a visit at night.
But
this is really gonna conclude our time here in Mostar. Mostar is really just very beautiful, very quaint. I love the mixture of like the more modern plus the war-ridden buildings. Could do with a few less people in the city, but you know, that's something you have to deal with.
Beggars
sometimes.
can't be choosers.
We are the people, so.
It is a beautiful city and definitely worth a visit. Probably about 2 days max, but if you want to jump the bridge, it's possible, but dangerous.
Don't do it. Make good decisions. But that's gonna conclude it. We do have one more place in Bosnia that we are going to be visiting. So that's the next time we'll be recording probably.
Let's head there, I guess.
Yeah, let's just admire the bridge.